I would eat my dinner alone.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I find so much peace when I eat quietly and really in tune.
Some of us eat from guilt and, well, that doesn't work out so well. But it's just something to bring awareness to, right? And to be able to heal it on that level too, so that we can enjoy food without the guilt.
Like they're saying, oh, you're wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And once they leave, then the judgment comes out.
So you were seeing that huge discrepancy between what people were saying and how they actually felt on the inside. Hello and welcome to the Higher Vibe. I'm your host, Jean Roorda. I'm having conversations with psychic friends, and today I have with me Jing Liu. She is a registered dietitian, intuitive healer, and teacher. Hello, Jing.
Hey, Jean.
So good to see you.
Likewise.
Yay. So fun to be here with you today. We're going to talk about nutrition, I'm sure, since you're a dietitian, but also I love the fun of talking about both supporting the body with wellness, with nutrition, and supporting the heart and mind and emotional body and spirit with the intuitive awareness. So you kind of span both worlds and bring them together, which is amazing and wonderful. How did this all start for you? Like, when did you first notice maybe you're a little different than the people around you, you know? Awareness and perspective in the world.
I mean, it's funny that we're talking about this. I mean, it's all about the spirit, body, and mind and all that. Because I think the first time that I was very clear about me not being the body, it was like I was waking up from a nap. That was before kindergarten. I was waking up from a nap and I was watching myself coming down from the clouds. And at least that's what I was interpreting, the
Right.
clouds, because I was relating to this image of one of the Chinese fairy tales about this seven goddess, and then one of the sisters decided to come down to earth from the heaven to save a man or something. But for me, I was watching myself coming down from like different layers of clouds and then falling into my body. And then I suddenly woke up and then I saw like the room that was like crystal clear. Everything was so clear. And then I remember very clearly for me, immediately jumped to the mirror and study my own face.
Wow.
And starting like, checking out like different angles, like different expressions.
Yeah.
And I remember since that day, I always knew how to angle my face, taking photos. Most photos, suddenly I become so photogenic. Exactly, like, and that continued until I thought I got pregnant and my body changed, and now I need to get back to that process.
Being a mom, our bodies do change. But this was when you were a little girl. At some point, you had this experience where you realized, oh, I'm not the body. It's almost like you jumped into your bodysuit and you were like, wow, check me out. Look at this bodysuit.
Yeah. Like I was so clear that I was watching myself dropping, like entering this body.
Coming
Like,
into the
oh
body.
wow, I'm here now.
Yeah.
I got this face. I
Yeah.
have this body. And then back then I was looking at like different layers of clouds, but now my understanding is different level of consciousness.
Yeah.
Or this is what we've been learning, right?
Layers of the as you kind of come down into the physical.
Yeah.
Levels.
And then that body was located in a village in China at the time.
Dropping in. What village was it? What part of China did you grow up in?
It's a southern China, like a province called Canton. So it's a southern China and a village. At the time, it was still a village anyway. Not anymore, but it's still a village.
Yeah.
And I just noticed, like most people don't really talk. Well, to them they're talking, but
Yeah.
to me they're screaming.
Is
Um,
that something about the culture around you though, where it sounds like when people are just regular communication, it sounds like they're
yeah,
shouting at each other or
yeah, like the normal, it's the normal thing to do. And then the houses are made of bricks, and so there's not much like soundproof. So I could literally hear conversations from my next house down the street. Uh, 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 it's just so loud everywhere.
yeah. It sounds like both it was physically loud and energetically, like you were sensitive to the energetic noise of that.
Yeah, and then there's something I also noticed that because it's still like the communism, they don't really allow religions, right? But
Mhm.
everybody have the statues of, the Buddha or
Yeah.
the ancestors. And my grandma gave me a class that every evening I'm supposed to burn incense
Yeah.
to those different gods in the house, but they don't know anything about those gods other than, this god is protect the house,
Mhm.
and that god is to protect the bedroom so then the kids don't fall off the bed,
Yeah.
and that god is to respect ancestors. But beyond that, there's no conversation about it. There's no gratitude toward,
Yeah.
any. It's
Sort
like a
of
duty. It's just
right.
like
It's just a certain
duty to them.
way to do this, but there's no conversation about the why or the deeper meaning. And
Yeah,
also maybe because the energy was you're not even supposed to be
not
doing this.
allowed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not allowed. No, like every action was done based on fear. Really,
Mhm.
like, oh, you need to do this, otherwise your house may not be safe, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then for me, it just means so many things are like useless, meaningless. But everyone thinks it's a way of life. It's
Yeah.
important that we must do this. So when I was young, I tend to just watch. I just stare. I just look at people talk, but I don't really talk because a lot of times I just
Observing.
like, I don't know why they're even saying those things. Because they don't mean anything. Like they're not saying what they mean.
Right.
Like they're saying, oh, you're wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And once they leave, then the judgment comes out.
So you
And
were seeing that huge discrepancy between what people were saying and how they actually felt on the inside. You could tell that they were kind of lying to each other.
yeah. And then it was so funny that there was no library, school, or in the village, but there are, bookstore, a small bookstore.
Okay.
And I was never interested in any of the books in the bookstore.
What books did they have? I'm assuming it was very limited then.
It's like history books, the so-called famous historical books, And in China, there are 4 famous books, or maybe 5. One is about relationships. One is about strategies on war.
Yeah.
One is about the underworld.
Mhm.
And those 4 books have been a long time. But I just wasn't very interested until one day I found like someone renting books from their house. And I would save, it's not free rental, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like a penny for one book a day or something like that. So I would like save some money from my breakfast and lunch money. And on my way home, I would rent some books to go home with. And all the books I pick up, I tend to be about, the gods, the underworld, the ghosts. So all about spirits.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to read this book. But at the time, my grandma, oh, she hated it because she thought any books about ghosts is bad luck.
Mm.
It's like, oh, you're not supposed to talk about ghosts. Oh, no, 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 no.
Taboo. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's not the only one, of course. Right? I mean, most people are afraid of the dark. Like in the village back then, there wasn't any electricity for the beginning of my years. Well, I came here when I was 12, so I think there wasn't much electricity before I was 9.
Yeah.
But then in the village back then, we go out as a child. There's no limitation. If you can walk, you can go anywhere you want and just come home for dinner when it's time. Like that's what I do. I usually hang out with boys because they are the ones that would like go to the field and go to
We're
explore.
doing exciting things. Yeah.
Exactly. And my neighbors happen to be all boys around my age or a little bit older, and the girls are younger. So of course I hang out with older kids because they do more fun stuff. And I was never afraid of the dark when so many people are afraid of the dark.
Wow.
The roads are not paved. So you need to know your way. And then there's no street lights.
Yeah.
But for me, I always connected with the moon so much that the moonlight was always enough for me. And I never felt like alone. In fact, I love to be alone. Like I would take my dinner away from, like I would leave the dining table, eat my dinner in front of my house because in front of my house was a fish pond, and then on the other side of the fish pond is the rice field. And I usually just love the open sky really because that's when the sunset happens and all the clouds are there. And then the clouds just shows so many images to me, images I don't see in the village, like images that's like just like so fun. And I would eat my dinner alone. And I guess that's why I find so much peace when I eat quietly and really in tune. So that's also what drew me into mindful eating.
And you had to, as a child, eat alone so you could intuitively, mindfully eat.
Yes, exactly.
Was that yelling you were talking about, how people yelled? Was that even in your family, that's just how people would communicate, in that more yelling manner? So you found your own space?
Time to time, yelling, hitting is a normal behavior.
Wow.
It's accepted. And even eating is not much. Eating is not much chewing involved. It's really just shuffling food down.
In there. Get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I mean, also the culture, it was like my mom's always the last one to join the table, right? Like everyone else is eating and she's like still finishing up cooking.
Right. Yeah.
And then she would come to the table and then she would like kind of eat toward the end. But sometimes when other people finish eating, or especially, maybe my younger siblings and stuff, and she might have to do something already after dinner. So she ended up shuffling food down, like without much chewing. She's just really swallowing, right?
Yeah.
So
no space for her to take care of herself. She's got to take care of everyone else.
Yeah. So I think at some point I just had to leave that setting because I cannot change them. And as a child, if I even say anything, I would get punished by my dad.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that, him and my grandma actually, they both carry that energy of anger all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, that's another talk.
Yeah. Well, we're all here to heal the ancestral lineage at some point.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at their generation, how much trauma they went through with the revolution and all those angry family beings that comes through, and them also being transmedium, but had no training to manage that.
Yeah,
was not fun.
So were you aware of that as a kid? Like, well, it sounds like you were aware of when people were saying one thing but feeling the other. Were you aware of that with your family members, kind of what was going on beneath the surface, and you were aware that you weren't allowed to point it out?
Yeah. I mean, I always notice when my grandma, my dad and his mom, when they get angry, their eyes look the same. Like when I look into their eyes,
it's a different look than when they're not.
Yes. I always notice that. And they have the same look. And I know that's when they are outraged.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is not a negotiable, or even this is the time to get away, basically. Because this is
Why?
not as a human being
Yeah.
in that state. And later on, then I learned, oh, okay, that's an angry family being that actually can go through any of us at any time.
Yeah. And
But
also dad and grandma. So when you came to the US, you were 12. I'm assuming dad came with you. Did that grandma as well come, or did she stay in China?
no, so for her, she actually had a stroke 5 years before we came. And so she stayed in China. And we couldn't bring her anyway because the sponsorship is through my mom's side of the family. So the only way to bring her here is if after we came, then maybe my dad would sponsor his mom. It
Right.
could have been that way. But because half of her body was paralyzed, she would have to stay in China. And good thing we still have aunts, Esther, to take care of her. So that worked out very well for me, in fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I was taking on a lot of her energy because I'm the oldest of four siblings.
Yeah.
So my mom will focus on the younger kids, and then the older kids will transition to be cared by my grandma.
Yeah.
As we grow older, and then of course I'm the first one.
Yeah.
And so I spend the most time.
Of the family energy, right?
Yeah. And when she was paralyzed, I think I was the one that really took care of her most of the time. In return, that was interesting. Yeah, because there was no wheelchair, so we bring everything to her.
Yeah.
As a child, whatever, that's what we have to do. We just do it. And I know since young, I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn new things.
Yeah.
So I think since I was five or something, I started asking, when am I going to school? But school's not free in China.
Wow.
But then my parents, or at least my dad, was so stuck in the poor picture. He didn't want to he didn't want to pay for school.
This is fascinating to me. I mean, this is a whole other aside, but I had no idea in a communist country that school wasn't just like, it's not government school that everyone goes to. It's all private and you have to pay for it.
No, it's government, but you just pay the government.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the government owns everything,
Yeah.
But
so
it's not as
and you have to pay for it.
Exactly. I mean, at least back then was the case. Right now, things could have changed. I mean, I came here since '84, so it's like many years ago. So what happened? So I just keep, bugging until I was 6 years and a half or whatever. They couldn't stand me anymore. So
about school.
So the summer they had to send me to my aunt's house, and then when I came back, then they finally sent me to school. That was like the last year of kindergarten. But then there's 2 years prior to that, they could have sent me. Like there's 3 years of kindergarten I could have attended. But then by the time I got was the last grade in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to kindergarten, only child, first day of school, going to school by myself. And I was so ignorant. I thought I had to bring my own chair.
Oh, yeah. You came to school with a chair?
I carried my own chair and walked to school.
Nobody told you didn't need to do that? You just
nobody ever talked to me about it. Even I just went and
well, at least you had your own familiar chair to sit in there. Oh my goodness.
And of course, when I got there, they said, okay, everybody sit on a long bench.
You had a bench.
Yeah. Put the chair on the side. You don't have your own seat. There's like a row, right? You sit in a row. But I was in such like justice mode. Yeah, I was like, so in kindergarten, I was just like letting my anger out, like this, whatever suppressed at home, just letting it out in school.
Yeah, I see that a lot with children. You can definitely tell when you're with a child, like what's going on in their home life, because as soon as they're in a different environment, it comes out.
Yeah, and then again, in school was very loud too. But it was so funny that at the time, the kindergarten is built right by the mountain. Yeah. And then next to it is a temple. It was not a well-used temple.
Yeah,
at
it
the
sounds like
time.
it wasn't allowed to be used. You said
Yeah,
like religion was illegal, so the temple
yeah. So,
was sort of decorative.
well, I think at that time the temple was kind of like deserted temple because instead of using it as a temple, that space was used for people to practice the Chinese opera.
Amazing. Yeah. Kind of turned into an art house or a music.
Yeah, yeah. But it was so fun for me to kind of revisit my past life
Yeah.
and so those pictures, right? And there's no gate between the school and the temple.
Yeah, it's just
You
right.
just go right through it.
So you had past life awareness of being part of those temples when they were used more
Yeah,
for meditation or
yeah.
spiritual learning. Yeah.
Yes, I love visiting the temple because the energy from the school and the temple, literally, once I cross that door,
Yeah.
it's a different world.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the time, it wasn't so clear on, oh, okay, what am I looking at? I just know I feel a lot more comfortable here.
Yeah. You felt a different energy.
And I just like, okay, I have to go back to class now.
Like, I really like this energy, but I've got to go back.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like you were always hungry for knowledge, like hungry for something. First, you were looking for where are the books that are not government propaganda,
Okay.
that
Yeah,
are
you
not
know my picture.
knowledge. And that's cool that
Yeah,
you found a neighbor that had some more spiritually oriented books. And then
yeah,
you knew you wanted something. So then you're like, give me school. But then maybe this isn't exactly what I was looking for.
yeah.
And so at some point when you were 12, you said you came to the US. When did you first start noticing your interest in meditation or deeper spiritual practices? When did that start?
After I came to the US, soon after I got here, one day I clearly hear myself telling myself that, oh, this is home.
Wow.
Yeah, and that has never happened. It was like that thought of home, like it's home that in the mind, okay, I live here, I'm born here, my family's here, this is home. But home from the heart,
Yeah.
that's when it came out,
Wow.
you
And was
know.
was it related specifically to where you moved or just the whole country or where did you move to?
I moved to Oakland, California. And at the time, the uncles, aunts, they live in the hills,
Hmm.
and it was quiet there, beautiful. And that's what I really felt, that I can be me,
Yeah, there was
you
more
know.
energetic
Yeah.
space to be yourself.
Mhm.
That was the
Yes. And at the time, like me, my siblings, and my cousins were the only immigrants.
wow.
Like, we are the only people who has English as our second language.
Yeah, that's surprising. I mean, I don't know much about the history of immigration, but I would think that Oakland was always full of a variety of people from all over the world, but maybe not at that
Yeah,
time.
it was from different schools. I think that because that school is up in the hills,
Okay, yeah.
so immigrants don't usually live up in the hills because it's not convenient. You have to wait forever for a bus to get there,
And just walk to your destination.
Yeah.
So how was that
Yes.
for you? How did you experience being the only person having to learn English? Was that easy for you? Was that hard for you? Were you able to kind of pick up on things telepathically? How did that journey go for you of learning a new
I
culture and language?
I loved it. I mean, to me, at that time, I had no resistance,
Yeah.
no fear.
It's
It
great.
is to me, it's, oh, this is how America is.
Yeah.
What do I know? And I loved it. And then like the teacher I had, oh, I still like every morning she has like coffee, strong coffee next to her, and she's so happy, right? And she has her lipstick on, and she's just happy camper, and she comes in, she hugs everybody, and
Oh,
give
no.
everybody a huge juicy kiss.
Oh my gosh. So that was a
Oh,
very different experience from your school in China.
oh my God! I mean, never had someone kiss me up to that point.
Wow.
Yeah, her kiss on my face. It's like, oh my God, this is how a kiss feels like.
Wow. So the
Yeah,
warmth, it sounds like one of the main contrasts of the culture that you experienced was just more warmth and expressiveness. Maybe less
yes.
yelling. Was there less yelling?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the
People
kids
still
in
yell.
school, we scream, we fun, but the energy is different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. People running, yeah, kids are running, calling out, screaming, but
Mhm.
it's out of fun. It's not like outrage. It's not like
That's feeling.
releasing anger, releasing
Yes.
suppressed, it's
Mhm.
very different.
It's a more
And
playful and
yeah, and I was very lucky. I had this friend
yeah.
who she's Caucasian. She knew no Chinese. She did not know any Chinese.
Yeah.
But during recess time, she would come to me and teach me what was, the names of the 50 states.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
cause that was what we were learning in class at the
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
I know what they were learning by just
Yeah.
looking at what they're doing. I
Right.
just didn't know the English.
Right. The
What
words are
it's
so
how do
foreign.
you
Yeah.
say it?
Yeah.
So she would come to sit down with me and teach me how to say the names of different states.
Yeah.
She became my first best friend in the
Yeah.
US, of course.
Do you think
Yes.
your intuitive awareness and spiritual psychic awareness helped you in that transition of like adapting to a new culture and connecting with people and learning a new language?
Oh, yes, totally. Because I knew I was in a very safe and welcome environment. I mean, I just felt acceptance. All I feel is, to me, is just total openness.
Yeah.
There was just no such thing as fear
So great.
or or um or yeah, I was just so in awe in watching
Yeah.
how this new way of how people operate, how people behave, and how happy people are, and how much freedom the kids have. They get to eat whatever they want. Like they get to bring their own lunch.
Yeah.
And because in China, we have 2 hour lunch time, so we go home and eat whatever is at home.
Yeah.
The whole family eats. So, and at that time, like we eat whatever's on the table. There's no such thing as picky eaters. There's no picky eater. You either eat or you don't eat.
Yeah.
And then when I got here, I was like, oh my God, they have snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody get a whole apple. Oh my God, what is that?
Wow. Yeah.
All year round. You can have
Mhm.
apple all year round. But for me, coming here at that time was great because the US at that time was still kind of quiet, really
Yeah.
friendly. So
Yeah.
so so I really
Yeah.
got the
Both
best,
countries have
I feel.
both
Yeah.
countries have changed so much, I'm sure.
Yes,
In some
yes.
ways, in other ways not. But so
Yeah.
you think that just openness in the culture, the acceptance and the just the vibration of freedom that you experienced
Mm-hmm.
and joy, sounds like there was a lot
Mm-hmm.
less fear and anger, that
Yeah.
helped you in progressing towards your interest in meditation
Meditation.
because you were able to
So
really be yourself.
yes.
Yeah.
So being here, yeah, it gave me a lot of freedom, right?
Yeah.
So I pretty much supported my own way
Mm,
to through school,
yeah.
and then I went to city college, and then I went to Davis to finish my undergrad,
Yeah.
and then I was so determined to be a professional, so I went to graduate school, and then of all places, the graduate school that I ended up is in Mississippi.
Wow.
At that time, no one around me know anything about Mississippi except from the history books, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even the travel agent who booked my flight didn't even book me to Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
It booked me to to Nashville, and then
Yeah.
I had to drive 2 hours down.
Yeah.
To rent a car to drive 2 hours down on
Wow.
that freeway, which has no callbacks
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
at the time, it was such in a high vibration.
Mm.
I did not need. There's no fear. But with that said, at the last year of Davis, I was at a point of, I think that was one of my lowest point in life because like it was a lot of family expectations. Oh, you're graduating from college.
Yeah.
And then also I broke up with a boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not get matched into an internship right away.
Mm.
So the energy of like, oh, a loser,
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah.
or unacceptance and blah blah blah,
I
just
know.
like hit. Yeah, literally one day I was like walking on the courtyard and I
Yeah.
just see people sitting around reading books, and I suddenly just decided to sit down and I was out. Like I was like lie down and I was out. But
Wow.
while I was out, I saw myself going up to the sky,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw some light beings, and then they were so bright. And then I came back down and I woke up. And
Okay.
then when I woke up, I saw all these options for me.
Yeah.
And then after that, I knew I can, that's okay. If I don't get accepted, I
Yeah.
can just work a year and reapply again next year. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
But first, I can take a trip.
Guides. It sounds like I think a lot of people are going to want to know like who your guides are.
Yeah.
With that, that's great. So you had like a little session with your spiritual team and like,
And
hey,
then,
it's
yeah.
okay.
And then,
All
so
these options.
yeah, so after graduation, I just went back to China to visit my grandma for a trip, and thinking after that I'll come back and find a job.
Yeah.
But while I was in the China, I got this call. I got accepted to this program in Mississippi.
Wow.
So I came back
Yeah.
to the US. And while I was getting ready to go to Mississippi, my grandma called and she said, "No, Jing, you cannot go to that school. You need to get married. No one's going to
Right.
want you when you turn 26 or after you turn 26.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
talking at me, not talking to me. And at that point, I'm like, no,
That's
I
great.
am going.
Yeah.
If you want to keep talking like this, I'm going to hang up on you. And I hung up on her. Okay.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool, right? For
Yeah.
somebody's granddaughter to say that to your grandma, I'm gonna hang up on you if you keep telling me. Yeah, but
Yeah.
where you recognize like that was the traditional program, like this is what you're supposed to do, and you were
Yeah.
like, that's not for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had that certainty in me. This is what I am going to do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like all along, I kind of know. And then with that, and then all those 2 years in Mississippi, I just felt I was so blessed. Like I bought a car. Like, I knew nothing about buying a car before then. I bought a car from some kids that just fixed up a used car and wanted to sell it to make some money. And that car ended up lasting me the whole time without much maintenance needed.
Yeah, you got a winner. That doesn't always happen.
No, and I mean, I just felt like there was support all around.
You were
Like
following your intuition and you had that certainty in it, because I think a lot of
yeah,
people could say, well, why are you going to Mississippi? Like,
yeah,
it might seem like totally random and unexpected, but you had that inner knowing and certainty, like, this is my next step. Your intuition led you to exactly the right car for you as well.
exactly. I mean, and those 2 years in Mississippi was exactly what I needed, because at that time I wanted to get away from California,
Yeah.
because California was getting too loud for me. I mean, Davis is a big school.
Yeah.
And going to Mississippi, oh my God, suddenly you have this small class size and you have this professor having this southern accent and talking to you, like having so much fun, and like this grandpa voice.
Oh.
I mean, it was a biochemistry class and he was just cracking me up, and I effortlessly earned a B plus from biochemistry. Oh my God,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I was I got an internship. Okay, suddenly my tuition 50% off. Hey, I'm all for it, right? So I was just so blessed. And in those 2 years, I was the healthiest in my whole life. I was not sick once in those 2 years.
Wow. And you think
And
that's
so
the quieter environment? Because it sounds like you came in very energetically sensitive and perhaps also coming in from a lot of monk lifetimes where you didn't have a lot of noise going on.
yeah.
And so you got to be in a quieter environment and have less of that external stress, it sounds like.
Yeah, and also in an environment that people are not familiar with my energy. Like for the first year, the school treated me like as if I was an international student.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because
it's like you might as well be, at that time. Yeah.
because like every other Chinese student there are international students.
Right.
They
Right.
have not had a student that have actually lived in the US for decades
Right.
and would go there for school, right?
Yeah.
But everyone was super friendly, and everyone I met that happens to move there from California, they just act like they met a lost family member.
Right. We have that bonding point of we're back in California.
So after I finished my degree and then I knew it was time for me to come back because then I have enough of myself that I can come back. So when I came back, there was so much energy around me. Oh, get married, find a man, blah blah. And then until one
Yeah.
day, I just got so sick of those energy.
Yeah.
I like okay. I mean, I know this list on my in my space, have to meet all this. I'm like, okay, this is all BS, and I just threw it out in my mind.
Yeah.
Threw it out, and I told myself, I just want to meet someone who can grow with me,
Nice.
because I want to keep growing. So
Yeah.
I just want to meet someone who can grow with me. And then suddenly, this coworker in the hospital happens to also be my classmate from middle school and college. Keep pushing his cousin, want to introduce him to me. And I'm like, okay, date anyone seriously right now. I want to have fun. I just finished 2 years of graduate school. But 6 months later, when I actually met him, he's my husband now.
Oh, yeah. So who
And then
pushy? Like they knew this is the
I
right.
know. And this was so funny. And then so he's pretty intuitive too.
Good.
And then he was open. He was actually a lot more knowledgeable about psychology before I got into it. So after the first child was born, I was somewhat sensitive. At that time, all that mommy energy was just like, I was just like dreaming.
Yeah.
All that,
level of early mother.
yeah. And his parents are very psychic too, except not very well controlled. So, but they are very good in getting in my space. So I was just bombarded with energy. And then the second child came. Oh my God, when she came, there's no more games. I was having dreams every night, like burning up. Because at that time we thought we need to learn how to manage your mom. Like his mom's very similar to my dad apparently. So when I was burning up after the second child came, and I need some support here.
Yeah.
But then that's when he told me that he has a friend who's an acupuncturist, an artist, and a psychic.
Aha.
Yeah. I have gotten some psychic communication from this friend. You want to check it out?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You tell me this now? you know, all these years you just mentioned this thing now. Okay.
Okay. Back on me. Oh my God.
Yeah. So So good thing she was available. So I got first reading from her. Oh my God, that was life changing. I feel like I have gotten answers that I've been asking for years. So after that, I got my second reading, and not long after that, my third reading. And then after my third reading, I'm like, okay, I want to learn exactly what you can do. So I started looking for programs, teachers, whatever, and none of them really sink in until she happens to visit one day. And told me about where she learned the meditation and the psychic work she does.
Yeah.
And then so soon after that, I make the call, and the rest is history.
You had awareness that it had to do with the family energy, right? You might not have had a specific language for it, but you could tell, like, whatever's going on in our relationship between you and your husband has to do with this family energy, his mom, dad, and the conflict there. And it came in, and this is super common. It comes in at a deeper level when you have children. Like it comes in when you get married, but then it really comes in when you have children, right? Because those family beings want to perpetuate that energy throughout the lineage, but you and your daughters are like changing the game, right?
Yeah.
So it turns
Yeah.
into, on the surface, people think it's just, you got something wrong with your relationship. But it's like, no,
Mm-mm.
it's to do with all the psychic energy, all that energy of those family beings and the games that they're, wanting to perpetuate through the lineage. So it's so good that you found that information. I love it that it came from your husband's friend first,
Yeah, who knew?
but
And
then you found
and
your
the kids,
information.
yeah, and the kids were bringing in, right?
Yeah.
Like I know my daughters, they're like, we're not having this.
Right. Because exactly, when I look at your daughters as a soul, they're like, that's not the game we're playing. Like, we're coming in on a whole different vibration.
Yeah.
We're not doing that ancestry, all the anger, the control, the limitation,
Hmm.
and really just living from that unhappy place. There's
Hmm.
so much to heal there. And they came in like, we're ready to go.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. And it was so funny. That's when my daughters were still very young.
Hmm.
And I was just like talking to my mom. I said, this is very tiring, you know? And then my mom said, yeah, being a mom is very difficult. It's suffering.
Mm.
What? You didn't tell me this.
Like, that's not what I signed up for. Yeah.
Was her picture. Her
Right.
picture, like being a mom or being
Yeah.
a wife, you
Yeah.
just,
You're just
you,
suffering.
oh no, no,
Well,
this is
I love
not,
that you had that internal knowing of like, it doesn't have to be that way, right? You can have
yeah.
that experience of motherhood at a different vibration. You can have it at a vibration of joy and freedom and ease and grace.
Yeah,
Yay.
and that's the reason why I have not, be interested in any of the guys that they introduced me. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
You had to find the one that was in alignment with that vibration. Yeah.
yeah.
And then you
And
got into meditation. And then what got you interested in nutrition to kind of bring those two together?
so it's funny. When I first started studying nutrition, when I started college, I did not find any major that interests me that I knew at the time. And then it was through a summer job that actually my summer job was a data entry
Oh,
for
yeah.
a food distributor company,
Mm-hmm.
but they had dietitian working there. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was working with the computer guy,
Mm-hmm.
the other people in the office saw how hard I was working and they liked me,
Mm-hmm.
and other people started asking if I can do work for them too. And then two of those people turned out to be dietitians. And when I saw they were doing what they were doing, I'm like, oh my God, what is this profession?
Yeah.
What did you study in
Yeah.
school? And that's when I learned this profession called registered dietitian. So that's when I started, aligning my coursework for those majors. And at the time, I thought, oh, I just like food and I work in the food industry before then. And the little that I know, later on, my mom was diagnosed with gastric cancer.
Mm.
And, and then during the 2 years when she was going through the cancer treatment, she talked about her mom actually died from pancreatic something. And then there's also a story about one of her brothers was poisoned to death.
Wow.
And then I started making connection with,
Mhm.
oh, my dad's younger sister passed away when young because there was malnutrition. And also my dad's dad got sick and passed away not long after that. And also because malnutrition, low immunity.
Wow.
So there was all this family trauma in the family
Yeah.
around nutrition, food. And so at that point, I realized, oh, I have another family tradition that I can change.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, you brought it. You're shifting the energy on so many levels there to bring healing to the physical lineage and the lack of support around nutrition. And also just the energy, like you mentioned, that you noticed when people would eat when you were a child, it was just like shove it in.
Yeah,
There wasn't that mindful eating or that presence with the food. So incorporating both the energetic side of nutrition and the physical side, what a healing for your lineage. It's beautiful.
yeah. Like I was watching my mom and listening to, oh, how she had constipation and
Mhm.
she would just like drink milk.
Yeah.
to treat it. And I'm like, no, mom, that is making your digestion worse,
Yeah.
but she won't listen to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
but then later on that I realized, that's her way out
Mm.
of her marriage, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
But
So the only way
it became,
to get sick.
yeah, it became obvious when she was in hospice,
Yeah.
because that's when she really doesn't hide anything anymore,
Uh, she was conscious of that at that time, that this
hmm
was way out.
Well, she wouldn't say it, but
Uh,
it was clear to me. And I talked to my siblings about it, and they could see
yeah.
the reason why too. But we never really confronted her because
Yeah.
she doesn't want to talk about it. So for me, I also realized all those behaviors that I have learned by living at home, growing up in that environment. I have also picked up a lot of unhealthy eating habits. And I was aware that there are times that I have digestive issues too. And it wasn't because of, sometimes it's because of what I'm eating. Because I do notice more and more, like when certain cravings pop up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I know if like, I also notice after I feed into those cravings, I would suffer the consequence of it,
Right.
like right after.
Food, but what causes us to eat that particular food? And
Yeah.
it's kind of always that underlying energy, whether it's the actual energy making our stomach tight and knotted up and the energy not flowing, or it's the energy that propels us to maybe make unhealthy food choices.
Yeah, like on the surface, most people think we suffer the consequence because we ate the wrong food.
Right. But it's
But
really the
uh,
energy behind it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, with the intuitive energy awareness, then I see, oh no, the energy already came in. The energy was already setting this up.
Right.
And when I went along with it unconsciously, then that's the path.
Yeah.
And that will continue unless I stop it, right? So so so,
That's what
so
manifests when we don't clear that energy. We just become the effect of it.
yes, yes. So in meditation was so awesome in that in every meditation I'm already like clearing out the
Yeah.
energy before it even start coming in, right?
Yeah.
And the ones I miss that are already here,
Yeah.
then the mindful eating techniques really helps me to be the gatekeeper, like, okay, I am eating this now, how is this in alignment with my path,
Yeah.
with my health? And then of course after that the outcome will be very different.
Right.
And the more I practice, the easier I am to pick up the information I need. One experience I had was during the 2 years that my mom was going through her cancer treatment. She's the type that wants to just, sweep everything under the rug and
Yeah.
everything's fine.
Yeah.
And one day she cooked something and she was so excited for me. And then when I went to pick up my girls from her place, and she was like, try this, try this. So I tried it. And it was so salty. I ate one bite and I have to like spit it back out. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
But then I got upset actually. I'm like, why do you cook something so salty? It's not good for your health,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Just the mind talking. So I picked up the girls and I left her home. But on my way home, I realized, oh my God, that was her depression that I was tasting. And then at the same time, and I thought that, oh my God, her cancer is coming back. And I think she knows in some level, but not fully conscious of it. And physically, I think also at the same time, she was losing her taste.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at when you said it was super salty. I thought, I wonder if she even noticed that. Like there was a part of her that wasn't present enough.
Yeah.
Or had some energy inhibiting that awareness that to her it wasn't overly salty.
Yeah. And
it tasted like her depression, which
yeah.
subdued or not fully present.
Mm-hmm. So that's the magic in combining my the intuition and the nutrition skill that helps me. That when I eat something, I am understanding the experience in so many levels.
Yeah.
Yes, she could be losing her taste. That's easy to pick up physically. But then the other ones, lo and behold, soon after that day, her doctor found out her cancer this.
Yeah, you could see it already. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. But then again, even though I knew it, I also see that is her path.
Yeah.
It's nothing for me to stop,
Yeah.
and it's nothing for me to feel sad about.
Yeah.
Because that's her, I mean, she's making her choice along the way, and she's not totally unconscious about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Jing, that you have that neutrality. You've really developed that as a soul over many lifetimes. Compassion. It's compassion and neutrality to be present, to see your loved one suffering and give them space to have their experience, right? You didn't go in and feel the need to rescue her or solve the cancer problem, but just you could see like this is her path and I can give her space to have it and still love her and let her have that experience.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, because now when I look back, I don't know how I did it at the time.
You definitely have that. You've developed that as a soul.
Yeah, because like when she first had her surgery, I took all my vacation time, and the whole time she was in the hospital, I was with her.
Wow.
And I slept more than she did in the hospital.
Sleep very much. Wow.
She was like the designated caregiver at home. In the hospital, she is open to receive care, so she loves the hospital.
Right. Well, I was noticing that too, how you said earlier that, as a mother in that traditional role, she was just constantly the giver and there wasn't much space for her to take care of herself. And so during her experience in the hospital, on the surface, we could say, oh, that's so horrible. She had cancer and she's in the hospital. But she finally got to just relax and receive. And experience the self-care that she had been missing earlier in her life.
Yeah, and the miracle, that is that at that time I was pretty well trained already as an intuitive healer. So I know during the day she wasn't ready to have it. But when she was asleep at night, I was able to give her a touch healing.
Nice. And a little sneak this healing in here while you're sleeping. Because soul to soul, you're communicating with her in spirit.
Her spirit was so ready to have it.
Yeah.
But when she's in the body, she just didn't have that permission.
Right.
But as a spirit, she was like so ready. Yeah. And she released, oh my God, she released so much like dark, non-permission.
Yeah.
Whatever she needed to release.
Yeah.
And her light just came through.
So beautiful. And then
the next day, her medical team says, "Oh my God, they couldn't believe how well she recovered from the surgery." Yeah. And then they discharged her ahead of schedule.
Wow.
But she did not want to leave.
She's like, they're making my food, they're taking care of me. I don't have to cook and clean.
Already? I'm going home already? Can I stay a few more days?
Right? Wow. It's beautiful that you could be present for her to support her in that process and then get to see, wow, like your healing work made such a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think was from that experience that I got my certainty that from that point on, every decision she makes, she has a lot more clarity in her choices, and it turned out to be so. She was able to pick out the photo to go on her tombstone with my dad, and she picked out the coffin with me and my siblings. We went to the funeral home and brought home some pamphlets. And she decided on, this is fine. She planned out her own funeral with us.
Yeah.
Without any the traditional woo-woo, like, I don't want to, get into this topic thing,
Yeah.
Like, it was so different. It was such a...
She was in a place of peace and surrender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she was so clear. She talked about like, when I pass, I want this person, to come and receive me from the other side.
Yeah.
And they showed up.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
just like she planned it.
Yeah.
She planned her journey before and during and after
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
And
Your loved ones showed up for the transition on the other side. That's beautiful.
yes,
Yeah.
and the ones that came
Mm.
didn't even shine as bright as she did. She
Wow.
was brighter
She was ready
than
to
the
go.
ones that show up, because the ones that show up, the way they passed
Right.
was not from a peaceful space like
Yeah.
she did.
Talk about lineage healing, Jing. This is beautiful. You're really bringing to my awareness like the form of our healing as a healer, right? You came in as a healer. You were already a healer, but the form that took with nutrition and following your intuitive path and meditation, all that had to do with healing your lineage. You know, what form of your healing would support ancestral healing as well as your own soul's development, right? So weaving those two together brought you to the form of the beautiful expression of your healing, and what a gift that is, not only to your lineage but to so many people. Have we call them matching pictures, right? But so many people from all sorts of different lineages have that experience of the emotions affecting the nutrition, right? Or the trauma affecting the nutrition, right? Whether it's the way we eat or what we eat or how we eat. There's so much healing there on both the physical and spiritual level. So it's beautiful that you're weaving that together to support your
Yeah,
own healing and your ancestral healing, and for all the other humans that have similar experiences and similar pain to release. It's beautiful.
yeah. As a registered dietitian, I worked like 16 years in the community medical center doing nutrition, medical nutrition therapy,
Oh,
and I have integrated mindful eating into the sessions where people were ready to receive it. And so I created tools
yeah.
hoping to reach more people. And I'm still hopeful that more and more people will be ready to learn about.
I think it's a huge next step for people, Jing, because there's so much information out there on what's the correct thing to eat, right? There's so much information, and a lot of it conflicts, right? There's
Yeah.
this path says no, this is the right kind of food, and then nope, this is the right kind of food, you shouldn't eat that, and no, this is the right kind of food, you definitely should not eat those other things. The only solution is follow your intuition. What is correct for you at a specific time for your body in this moment? And I think there is no right or wrong, like it's definitely this and not that. It's more what's correct for you in that moment, what's going to nourish you the most, and what is the energy in which you're bringing that food in, because that is way more impactful than the actual food.
Totally.
It's important. We have to eat the vibration of food that supports our vibration, but it's so much more impactful. You could have just the right food, but be eating it from a vibration of fear or anger or whatever it is that would totally limit that food's ability to really nourish you, because what you're really taking in is that energy. Some of us eat from guilt, and well, that doesn't work out so well.
Oh, yeah. We all know how that works.
I don't know. It's super common, and there's no judgment. We've all been there, done that. But it's just something to bring awareness to, right? And to be able to heal it on that level too, so that we can enjoy food without the guilt, and and enjoy food
Yes.
from a vibration of nourishment, which is not fear.
Yes. And I also being aware to even set an intention, right? When we set an intention on the food or the beverage before we put it in the body,
Yeah,
we are setting the vibration, right?
absolutely.
And then however the body receive it and affects it,
Yeah,
well, you are the boss. You are the boss, not whoever put in the attention to produce that food,
right.
right? Yeah, I eat ice cream. I eat candy sometimes,
Yeah.
but but I know exactly what I'm bringing in and what I want it to do for me.
I love that. It's so important because we don't have to be afraid of food, right? And
Yeah,
be afraid of, like, some people, it gets to be such a thing like, oh, this energy on this food because it was made at this restaurant or by these people. It's like, no, you get to decide, you get to set the energy. This is why people pray over their food, really.
yes, Yes.
Set the vibration of the food. Bless it before you eat it.
Yeah. Now, for people who pray, also, they could be praying from different level of awareness,
Yes.
right? Some people could be just praying from a script. That's just what they say.
Repeat the
Right.
thing that you say.
Yeah, it's all intellect, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
da, 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 just play the recording.
Exactly.
So that doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a mantra, but like you're saying, if it's in that intellectual space,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
setting the energy of the food. It's just repeating an intellectual process.
Exactly. You need to really like your whole body, your whole being needs
Yeah.
to really put your energy into that prayer,
Yeah.
right? And that's where your
Intuitive.
light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's how you transfer your light into the food
Yes.
and then feed it to yourself, right?
Yes.
Without that, without your light in that food, everything whether you say a prayer or you think of a prayer, without your light, it's just blah blah blah.
Just exactly. It's not
Right?
grounded into the energetic matrix of your body. It's just sort of a random thought out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the spiritual being and the bright light, they're all around us. But we need to be to make that decision
Yeah.
to actually bring it through, to make it work for the body,
Yeah.
right?
Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So, I mean, spirit is like, no question about that. Nothing's
Yeah.
going to change that. But the body needs the spirit to bring it through, right?
That's
Yeah.
what's animating us, right?
So being mindful at the time, setting intentions, grounding, you mentioned that multiple times already.
Yes.
That is our inner work, right?
Yeah.
Without that work, it doesn't matter. Some people just going by the script. There's no soul in
And that's
the
often where it starts for a soul is like, this is the script that I follow, and they're
Yeah.
following a protocol, whether it's the dogma or whatever the
Yeah.
script is. And then you get to a place where, well, this really has to be embodied in my own beingness,
Yes.
my own awareness, rather than an external practice. So
Yeah.
that's really what mindful eating is. When we bring it into the realm of eating, it's bringing our own presence and awareness into everything, the food, the process of eating, and making
Yeah.
that decision like, this food is nourishing me. It's really just a decision. We do have
Yeah.
power there.
Exactly. Yeah. And if we practice it enough, can even not only you're healing yourself, you can even heal the chain reaction, like from the people who work on the food, who
Yeah.
harvest the food.
Yeah, there's so many people. There's so
Yeah.
many people involved in our eating, right? We
Yes.
back to like the farmers, everybody. The
Yeah.
people who harvest, the people who transport. There's so many people involved. I love that you bring that into our awareness of really including everyone in that mindful eating.
Hmm.
It's like a healing for the whole community.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
eating is when it comes down to it, is what unites us. When we're in bodies, we all need to eat.
Right? Yeah. We're all the same. We're all the same.
We all have these bodies that need to be nourished, and that's
Yep.
great.
We
I love
are.
that. I love the shared humanity in that. And thank you so much, Jing, for sharing your story and your experience with us today.
Thank
I
you for
love what you
having
do.
me.
I love this combination of mindful eating and intuitive eating and intuitive healing energy work. It's a beautiful combination of practices there that are just so right on for you. So thank you for sharing this with us today, Jing.
Well, thank you for this opportunity,
Yeah,
Jean.
really
It's
fun.
always great talking to you.
So good to talk with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on The Higher Vibe. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Hello. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Share this with friends. Really helps us out, and we really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you next time.